of this slide. Take the screenshot along with me. Then you will submit after this class itself. It's not that tough to submit. Okay, I'm going to the next slide. Okay, so differentiate it. Differentiate this expression for with respect to differentiate this equation of k with respect to s. Okay, so you will get this expression. Okay, and equate it to 0. Okay, and further simplify it. You will get this equation. Okay, determine the roots for this quadratic equation. Okay, so if you determine the roots, you will get s equal to minus 0.845 or minus 3.154. Okay. Okay, this is what you will get. Okay, so if you, I hope you have taken the screenshot for this slide. I'm going to the next slide. Okay, it has not changed. Something is wrong. Okay. Okay, you have got two values for s. Okay, you have got two values for s. Substitute s value in the k expression. Okay, and simplify it, you will get k value. So if you observe, k is positive and real here. So this s equal to minus 0.845 is your breakaway point. Okay, so you have got a breakaway point here. So when k is real and positive, then that value of s will be your breakaway point. Now substitute another s value in k expression. Okay, you will get a negative value for k. Okay, so k is negative means this is not the actual breakaway point or break-in point, whatever may be. Okay, of course zeros are not there, so definitely we can't find any break-in point. So it is also not your breakaway point. There is only one breakaway point here, that is s equal to minus 0.845. Okay, I'm changing this slide. Okay, so mention the breakaway point on the graph. 0.845. This is minus 1. So this point is too thick. So I might have drawn very small. I might have put very small dot here. So I have drawn a very big. Okay. So now I have already done it. Now I can't modify it. Of course I can, but leave it. Okay. So just mention this breakaway point on the graph. Okay. I hope you have taken the screenshot. I'm moving to the next slide. Okay, now we have to find the angle of departures. So there are no complex poles here. All poles are real poles. Okay, or complex zeros are not there to determine angle of incoming angles, actually we can say. So since there are no complex poles or zeros, there is no need to determine any angle of departure or angle of arrival. If zeros are there, angle of arrival we have to determine. If poles are there, angle of departure we have to determine. So no complex poles or zeros. So no need to determine. Now let us find out the crossing point on the imaginary axis. Okay. So you know the characteristic equation that has been that you have already determined for the closed loop system. Okay. Substitute s equal to j omega and simplify it. Okay, substitute s equal to j omega and simplify it, and later you equate the imaginary terms to 0 and the real terms to 0. Okay, equate imaginary terms to 0 and real terms to 0. Okay, I'm changing the slide. So equating imaginary parts to 0, we get minus omega cube plus 8 omega equal to 0. From that you will get omega value. Means you have got the crossing point on the imaginary axis. Omega is the crossing point on the imaginary axis. Okay, on equating real parts to 0, you will get some expression minus 6 omega square plus k equal to 0, and omega is 2.8. So substitute omega value here, you will get k value. So um, k is the limiting value for stability of the system. Okay, this k value is the limiting value for stability of the system. Okay, I hope you have taken the screenshot. Okay. So no need to explain all this. Whatever I have written, you go through it later on. I will show you the graph, and so this is the breakaway point. Okay. So where am I? Yeah. So this is why did I put this breakaway point? I already 1 minute. I will check the PPT. Okay. So breakaway point. Okay, that's okay. And okay, real access you are okay. So okay, yeah, this is not the breaker. Okay, so this intersecting. Okay, so intersecting point on the imaginary axis is my 2.8. So plus j of 2.8 and minus j of 2.8. These 2 points you just locate on the graph. Okay, intersection points just now you have determined on the imaginary axis is plus j 2.8 and minus j 2.8. Okay, you just locate that. Okay, take the screenshot on the graph. You just locate it. And next is you simply join. You plot the graph now. Graph means the root locus. Okay, so there are 2 poles. Okay, from these 2 poles, the root locus will start and meet at this breakaway point. And from this breakaway point, one root locus will move along the path of the asymptote through this intersection point parallel to the asymptote to meet the 0 at infinity. And the root locus will come from this any of these, okay, any of these poles, and it will move parallel to the asymptote passing through this intersection point to meet the 0 at infinity. So next slide. This is your next slide. This is your root locus for the given problem. Okay, so this is your root locus. So actually in the problem they have asked you to determine the k value with the damping with given damping ratio. So the given damping ratio is 0.5. Okay, I'm changing the slide. Okay, so you have to find the k corresponding to zeta equal to 0.5. So zeta is 0.5 here. So let us consider alpha is equal to cos inverse of zeta. Okay, so zeta value is 0.5. Okay, so alpha will be equal to, okay, alpha will be equal to 60 degrees. So now draw a line OP such that angle between the line OP and the negative real axis is 60 degree. Okay, so in your graph, Amma, so consider this is O, the origin. Okay, from the origin on the negative real axis. This is your negative real axis, isn't it? This is your negative real axis. On the negative real axis, draw an angle of 60 degree. Okay, on the negative real axis, draw an angle of 60 degree. Okay, so this OP will give the angle of 60 degree on the negative real axis, alpha value. I hope you are able to see this alpha. Okay, if you are unable to see, just expand your screen and just look at the angle. Okay, so alpha is equal to 60 degree here. Now, this OP line, okay, this OP line, while moving from this origin to somewhere, okay, making an angle of 60 degree, making an angle of 60 degree, it is meeting this root locus at certain point, isn't it? It is intersecting, it is passing through this root locus. This blue line is your root locus, isn't it? This blue lines are your root locus. Okay, 3 root locus are there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 root locus are there. It is meeting this root locus at certain point. Okay, at some point. Okay, so consider it as some SD. Okay, as suffix D is at this point. Okay, join all the poles. Join all the poles to this point. Okay, join all the poles to this point. I might have written some theory regarding to this. Where is the 2p? Okay, so let k suffix sd be the value of k corresponding to the point s equal to sd. Okay, the point at which this OP is meeting root locus is, let us consider that point is SD. So KSD, you know this KSD gain value formula, product of lengths of the vectors from all the poles to the point s equal to SD, and product of length of vectors from all zeros to the point s equal to SD. Okay, so product of the lengths of vectors from all the poles to the point s equal to SD means product of all the lengths of the okay, lengths from the poles meeting at this point, from this pole to this, what is the length you have to measure using your scale. Okay, length from this pole to this point, measure with scale. So this length, let us consider from pole P1 to this point SD, length is L1. From pole P2 to this point, length is L2. From pole P3 to this point, length is L3. Okay, so product of all these lengths. Okay, okay, from each pole to this point. Similarly, product of the lengths of lengths from each zero to this point. Is there any zero here? No zero. Okay, there is no zero here, isn't it? Only poles are there, zeros are not there. Okay, so only poles are there, zeros are not there. Therefore, you need not determine anything for zero. You consider that as nothing is there. Therefore, you can write zero here. So consider it as some one. Okay, since no zeros are there, they are meeting. Of course, root locus will meet the zeros at infinity. No zero is there. Consider it as one. L1, L2, L3 are the products of length of vectors from all poles to the point s equal to SD. So length L1. So by using a scale, if you measure, it is 2.6 centimeters. Okay, it is 2.6 centimeters. So multiply this 2.6 with your damping ratio. What is it? 0.5. Okay, you will get 1.3 units. Okay, similarly, length of L2 is 3.5 centimeter. Okay, this length, L2 length from P2 to this SD, this length is 3.5 centimeter. Okay, multiplying it with damping ratio, you are converting it into units. Okay, similarly. Okay, similarly, length of L3 is 7 centimeters. Okay, length of L3 is 7 centimeters. Okay, multiply it with 0.5. I'm sorry, not damping ratio. Since the damping ratio value is also 0.5, I was no. In order to convert centimeters into units, there is a relation. What is that relation here? 2 centimeter equal to 1 unit. Okay, isn't it? So 1 centimeter is equal to 0.5 unit. Okay, sorry, I spoke something else. So don't mind. Okay. So as soon as I saw that 0.5, I remembered. Okay, I remembered about that damping ratio. Okay, that's why I spoke about that damping ratio.